Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Thursday, July 9th. Another choppy session today. They were able to actually close us slightly positive on the day. We had kind of decent economic news. Well, they spun it decently anyway. The jobless report was better than expected, but it had a lot of anomalies in it, which pretty much makes it meaningless. But, the business media took the headline and ran with it. And then we had Alcoa's decent earnings in after hours yesterday. So far, a good start to the earnings season. Really kicks off next week. And we've got options expiration next week, and it's only going to take a couple of positive earnings reports for them to jam this market higher, in my opinion. Let's see what happens. Here we're looking at the Dow 15-minute chart. We're still in this 1 month long bullish falling wedge. If we flip over to the daily chart, give us a better idea. We've redrawn the chart now to show that bullish falling wedge here on the daily time frame. This right here are Fibonacci retracement lines going back to the March lows, and 38% fib retrace is the 79.64 area. Doesn't mean we have to hit that on the nose. You could argue that we saw that yesterday at the low print. When you're in a bullish setting, the 38% fib should act as a bounce on stocks. If you go below the 38%, you're out of your bullish trend. So we're going to be a little bit optimistic in here and assume that the 38% fib is going to hold. We actually saw that as well on oil today. Oil hit its 38% fib retracement. That's from the March lows to the recent highs. That was at the high 59s. We've got a possible candlestick bottom as well in oil. And the reason we're talking oil is oil has led us down. Hopefully oil will lead us up over the next few days. SMH dipped below the 50-day moving average yesterday on its uptrend line, but it was able to bounce back towards it today. So let's see what happens here tomorrow. I did send out that alert yesterday talking about the options expiration counter trend rally. Can't say it really started today, even though we did end up positive and the downward spiral appears to have stopped. But we need some extension to the upside. Trades are not holding their gains. You see a nice little spike, and then traders are taking the small little gains and jumping out. What we need to get all this sideline money in is probably a Dow 100 plus point move, and you will see a lot of the sideline money start jumping into plays. Looking at charts, I see so many charts that are possibly bottomed, but we need the market to help us. We're not going to be brave and jump out and step in front of the train here. We're going to wait for confirmation from the market, but there is a lot of potentially nice setups out there, and we could have a pretty decent week next week. Stock plays. ONT trading alert yesterday at 39 cents. Sent out an update today. ONT's technology is being used in the new Google Android phone. Spiked nicely intraday to 46 cents. Should continue again tomorrow, but you can't argue with a 15% move in a pretty bad market. Chart looks very, very good. Stochastics nicely oversold. Positive ADX cross today, and we still have this symmetrical triangle formation in play. ASTM, retraced off its last spike. Typically, nice buy spot is 37 to 39 cents on this one. Target 45 cents. We had that large buyer show up again today. The last couple of times this guy has shown up, the stock has seen a nice little spike over the next couple of sessions. So let's see if it happens again here. Chart looks pretty decent. Stochastics nicely oversold. Little small play. Let's see what we get out of this one over the next 2 days. STSI, nice range over the last couple of days. It's been giving entries in the 95-cent area and then trading to 102 plus each day. 7-8% intraday scalp daily while you wait for the breakout here is not bad. We had a positive MACD cross here today. Stochastics still oversold, or RSI oversold, and stochastics are up through 20. I would expect this one to start moving nicely in the next couple of days. Of course, again, we need the market to cooperate, but we see a nice up move in the market over the next few days, and this one can easily make a move on $1.25 plus. DPTR, this is an example of a symmetrical triangle that actually broke through its stops at $1.90 all the way down to $1.46. Pretty much just followed the oil move down. Oil was down most of the session today, ended slightly up, but a lot of oil stocks were up on the session despite the weak oil. So the stocks are showing that they're oversold here, and DPTR has strayed pretty far from its 20-day exponential. That's at $1.89. So we should see a snapback to that area over the next few days. If you're looking for a scalp position on this one, $1.50 would be your stops in this one, and target is $1.75 to $1.89 over the next week. Just as a quick aside, we've been talking about the lack of Goldman Sachs. You've been hearing stories about their trading program being stolen and uploaded to servers in Europe. Well, plot thickened a little bit more today. It's just kind of interesting. It seems Goldman Sachs or the government lawyers tried to put the guy who supposedly stole the code and put him in jail, not give him bail. And the reason they said this was that the trading program he used in the wrong hands could be used to manipulate U.S. stock markets. Okay, so Goldman Sachs having a program like this is okay for everyone. Just, more of the same story I've been telling you. The markets are extremely manipulated. If you think they're not manipulated, you are crazy. And just, an interesting side note on, each and every month you see more and more information come to light that just shows you how gamed the market is against the average guy. But anyways, back to the market. Sitting on our hands right now, watching a lot of plays, and we should see that options counter trend rally start in earnest tomorrow. We need a 100-point up day to get the juices flowing, and we could be in store for a very nice week next week, especially if we get a couple of earnings reports that are anyway positive, which I believe we will. That's it for the video. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.